Let's try to see what is up next. Purple? Doffy? Right, it's the -1ing. That lets him guarantee a shit ton of on KO effects. Activate main, so we can't prevent that search. Oh, right. And then he can, if I try to swing into it, he can just turn it onto his leader. So he gets free cards with his sugar. That's disgusting. I suppose he does go -1 for it, right? And so it's not free. Dellinger is both search and ramp, which is disgusting. Which means that like he can kind of effortlessly redirect it to that to be a searcher, but I suppose then it, replaces the thing itself. Although I suppose it does actually stop the swing, right? He has a sugar rested, he has a Dellinger, and then if I try to swing onto the sugar, he turns it onto the Dellinger, negates the -1, gets the search, and sugar is alive for another search. Baby 5. On play ramp. Not great. More 2Ks with... Okay, this sugar is also on play ramp. And then on KO, which he can kind of... I can't get around the on KOs. I suppose sugar, if I want to, I can black hole it. If this is played on curve, then I'll be at 5 and I can just swing and it won't be able to use the effect. But that's another on play ramp here. 1, 2, no. No. Just here. 1, 2. B5, more on play ramp, on KO. Healing, right, on purple. Annoying. But it is done -1. I suppose he can just kind of, leave this active and heal when he wants to, right? Just leave this to be here, and later on, when he has enough dawn, like he's at 10 dawn or something, and the -1 doesn't matter, then he can just grab it in the last moment as a defense healing, right? That's annoying. So again here, black hole is nice. Basically just like removing a blocker prevents him from having a life. Wazinante, draw, annoying. God, I remember this from blue purple. The 2 free down at the end give him what he needs to keep his events up, but he doesn't have that many events that I'd be worried about here. The Virgo is a pain. It doesn't only protect itself, but the others too. For -1. And then -1 again to give minus power, although that seems like something you would rarely use. Industro just does this for free, right? With Rush. Just kind of reminds you how insane that card is. But hey, mostly this is just 5 Dawn, Beat Stick, with protection for everything, right? So that's actually annoying, because if he has this on board and we want to use Black Hole for something like Baby 5 or Dog for something like Sugar, he can protect it with Virgo, which means we need to kill Virgo first. 5 is awkward. If this was 4, obviously it would be way too strong a card, but it would be also easier for us to kill, so it's kind of unfortunate. But it does die to the Teach combo. And worst case, stronger Black Hole. It protects itself, right? Yeah, okay. So I suppose this would be something that we wanna, like, stronger Black Hole or Augur Black Hole, just to make sure it's dead. Again, it is -1, so we have to keep that in mind. We have the leader, we have the healing is -1, and this is -1. Still annoying and a beat stick. Since it's a beat stick, it'll, swing, and we can swing into it, but I guess he can redirect. Oh my god, he can protect everything back and forth. Really annoying. Yeah, this is this is trouble. It just does the on re-ramp, right? It's opponent's turn. Yeah. It negates his D-ramp basically. A lot of his D-ramp is during, yeah, it's just during my turn, right? So when this drops, it needs to die right away. And we can't really, yeah, it doesn't even need to be rested, right? You can just kind of leave it on, but you can also swing with it, because why not? You can just redirect. This needs to die as soon as it drops as well. Ideally, before I even attack, so he doesn't get a chance. So again, KO engine would be nice here, if we have it. If he drops it on curve on 5, then we can play the 7 cost. But the thing is, early on, he really, if he uses leader ability once, then he won't be able to play this in time for us to not have the 7 cost. Yeah, it dies to Stronger Black Hole, it dies to Augur 7 cost. It doesn't die to the Augur Dock combination. Laboon maybe? Another, same with the Resonante, another 5 cost that we would like to kill, but Laboon has its problems. Next up, next 5 cost. Okay, another on play ramp, and then on KO double ramp. That's and draw. This is something we would really want to kill with Black Hole. Yeah, so I think this is like the main Black Hole target, I think, most of the time. But we won't be able to even do it unless we get rid of the Virgo. To be fair, it's unlikely that he'd have both. But he does have the Searcher in the form of Sugar and Dellinger that we can't prevent. So there's actually a good chance he has both. Then he has this Doffy. Right, once he hits 8, he can just re-ramp, I suppose. And this 10 cost is on play as well, so it's not really much of a problem. So starting at 8, we're turning off on plays, but at 5, he already has like draw and ramp. We would want to prevent Monet. But he doesn't have that much. He has the ramp. Yeah, I suppose he has the ramp from Baby 5 and Sugar and Baby 5. He doesn't have searches we want to negate. So I suppose starting at 3, we deny. Suppose it could be argued that Baby 5's discard is quite expensive. His card draw is on play. So we may be able to leave it up at 3, since the Usachi isn't a problem either. But starting at 4, he has, they even come out as active. So on 4 we turn it off at the latest, I think. We stop his ramp, then his things slow down, really. If he can't play his ramp, then these things come out later. The Monet, the Virgo. Again though, Black Hole seems like it'll be very important. Now, Burgess versus removal. Removal is nice, but they all have on KO effects. So mostly I want to just kill them with with Black Hole. The higher costs aren't really much of a threat. He doesn't have. I guess he has a whole bunch of 5 cost bodies. It's tough to say how long, if only. It's a lot of 5 cost bodies. Augur isn't enough. Finger pistol? Is that worth running? I mean, we get the cards in the trash. He goes -1, but we would really need to punish his -1ing. Multiple Burgesses may also be a good option, since they deramp him, and in the end probably end up costing him a card. It's difficult. I can't quite say yet whether removal or Burgess would be better. Again, maybe hybrid to have the option would be nice. Dock would definitely be good to get rid of sugar. We know, I mean, docking Delegator is pointless. The forecast Shiryu to get rid of Baby 5. Suppose I really want to kill them with Black Hole. So I will leaning towards already a higher amount of those again. Same as an OP13. And a bit of cost reduction. Overall looks like it's potentially this matchup works like green purple Luffy, except easier for us, where they get they play aggro but deramp. But the thing is, Doffy isn't made to be as aggro. He's meant to compensate and re-ramp all those things ahead of time, and then get value with his later stuff. But we can prevent that. Now that I think about it, he doesn't really have much of a threat with the cards themselves. They just ramp to compensate for his deramping and get him some value, but they don't kill anything um, or do things in other ways. They're just bodies that swing at me. So I think I probably have time to build up the Burgesses and just swing into everything. But it does, ramp. Mm, difficult. Difficult. Event-wise, stupid beam sword. Otherwise, I think this could be quite fine. Uh, yeah. I'm feeling optimistic about how this goes. I think both routes could work. Black hole will be key. The dog is just for sugar. Not being able to kill her naturally is a pain, but he does have to deramp for it. And him deramping early means it takes longer for him to get to his actual ramp, and his low cost ramp is on play and we can negate it. The only exception is Dillinger. Mm, yeah. Yeah, Dillinger is a problem. Almost worthy of getting black hold actually, but that feels very inefficient. Preventing a surge and a ramp though might just be good enough. We'll see. For now, let's leave it at that. Let's go to Moria. Black yellow. He can buff his entire team by KOing, and he can heal by trashing 3 cards from hand. And he basically has the trigger to play forecast from his trash on almost everything. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this one isn't rested, but wait, that's not situational. He can just do that as well with this boa. Well, that's stupid. Does he have 7 Warlords of the Sea? He does. So this boa actually works with him. Card top deck. So if he oh no, that doesn't. He can't play that. He has to play it normally. So it's just on play, so it's fine. Yeah, so this Moria is so basically high cost. We turn these off, so these don't matter. What matters is it seems first that he can buff up a wide board for bigger swings, and then second that everything he has lets him play Thriller characters with a cost of 4 or less for free on the triggers. This Moria just counts to the high cost that we're just gonna turn off. So now we need to look at what cards he can play with it and how much we need to prevent it. So one thing is how much can we deny his trash, because this is a lot, so he needs to actually have something in there. Now Sindri just adds 5, it's like the peak of this. Sadly it costs 1. We could deny it from the very start, but that's only if we're going first. Anything else? This is on play, this is on play. On KO. Search. Okay, but bottom decks it. Okay, they don't go to the trash. This injury is just a blocker, yeah, that you can play during your turn for extra defense, during like my turn. On KO, also plays a card. On play on KO. Stuns, also good for defense. And then the Moria. So actually, the only way... These are annoying, but fine. The only way he has to actually fill his trash is the Sindri. Actually, no, I should check the event. Sorry. No. Yeah, this one, right? Trash the rest. So this playing this puts 3 cards in the trash, although one of them is this, so 2 potential 4 costs to play. Brickbat, nothing. Okay, so he has the event as a searcher to add 2 to the trash. He has the Sindri, and he has the leader. But the leader, he heals 1 but trashes 3. And I think early on, that tempo is brutal. Because I think I can starve him then, right? I deny the... I don't attack into the life that he gives. I suppose if I don't attack into the life, then I don't have to worry about activating the trigger anyways, but if he's not using this, and I deny Sindri, then I can attack life freely, and he just has nothing to grab with the trigger. Next up, they're all 4 costs, which means Augur Dock will tear through this. The higher cost units are just on plays and bodies. 10,000 bodies, which isn't bad, but it's nothing that we need to be super worried about. So I think we probably do really well against this. We can either starve him to just not give him the chance by just not swinging into his life, so he doesn't get the summons, and then all he has is these vanilla 5,000 bodies to try to swing it with Wish that we can probably kill with the engine, or just swing into with Burgess and get rid of everything. All while setting up either a massive KO engine or big Burgesses and blockers. And then I suppose we would suddenly go for game over the course of 2 turns. Problem being that he would then basically, like we spend 1 turn going for life, for example, right? We won't never be able to kill him 1 turn because he can do stuff like play a blocker. Actually, no, it's rested, so Sindri wouldn't be unless he gets the Moria trigger or Boa. But he can also get something like Perona, which I suppose we can stun. So we can do a lot of damage in 1 round. And after that, however, he will have a board. He'll have a board of a bunch of 5,000 attacks, which he can buff up to get a really wide board and swing. And that's really annoying for us, even with our bigger blockers. Worth keeping in mind that it may be worth it to just leader ability from turn 1 if we're going first. Just to deny the Sindri, so that the only way he has to actually get relevant cards in the trash would be to play and have them die. He won't want to do something like, I guess he can KO Absalom after, yeah, but it's so not worth for him, right? And something like the Sindri, I suppose he can play the Sindri block and then he knows he can get it back, right? But I'm more worried about like the swarm of 5,000 attack things that will come with these. And those I can probably deny a good amount of. We'll see. He likes to go second. Maybe we can Yeah, definitely right with the 4, 6 cost, 8 cost. Definitely. So maybe we could play into it, give them second if we win the dice roll, just so we can deny Sindri from the very start, which would be fun if he just has nothing and just has to play characters normally. And then we can trigger, we can swing life and get triggers early just because there's nothing for him to grab. So then like basically at the early part, we tease a little bit at his life, get him down to 3. And then once he has something, we wait, set up a big board, and go for game. But the events will make doing 4 damage in one turn difficult. Does he have more blockers than the Sindri? No. This is super winnable, I think. I think this is definitely favored for us. Ground Death lets him negate something, which is a pain, so he can get rid of a blocker. He can also make a Burgess into a 5k body, but mostly the blocker thing, right? The 4000 power with Ground Death, I don't think he can do it consistently. He needs Sindri for this at the start. Without Sindri, he just doesn't have the consistent way to get it. Like one, this gives 3. Unless he uses leader ability, it's gonna be tough to get to. Now, Engine of Burgess. I think Engine clears his board pretty easily. He has nothing like Augur Dog, just gets rid of everything and keeps his board relatively empty. We deny his board, we deny his swings. We set up like 10 cost teaches or something. Or even Burgess if it's like a hybrid build. I mean, you always have some Burgess. And then go for a game with the wider board. The single 7 cost teach sadly can't kill the 4 cost, but he can get rid of Sindri and Absalom if we really need it for some reason. A Burgess focus would give us the blockers, but since he's going wide, the blockers aren't as good. Shiryu actually is great here now that I think about it. He'll always have multiple, so he can't dodge the effect. Shiryu will be amazing against Moria here. Vortex. Probably can get some value. We can either negate the leader ability. I mean, he'll use it first, right? But yeah. He does need to KO something first. So if we use the engine to kill stuff like the Sindri and his other 4 costs, then he would need to play something just to get rid of it. I suppose he can do that with Kuma, but I think it'll be fine. Probably a bit better for the KO version just because we can keep clearing the board. And the wide is not as good against the is better against the blockers. Any other cards that are super important here? 10 cost, blockers, Augur, Shiryu. The activate main Shiryu doesn't seem great. I think the blocker Shiryu here will be really good. And probably the engine. Liberation. Suppose it goes wide, but we'll also have things. Maybe? Let's move on. So, we continue with Crocodile. Let's see what we got here. Right. He can't do removal. And by KOing a Baroque works, he can do -10 and trash a bit. So like 3 trash in one turn. But I don't remember him having anything that like scales like Burgess. Oh, you can trash. Okay, so it's just 2k. Searcher trashes the rest, right? So another big spike. So if he plays this on 1 and trashes it with leader ability, he has what, 6 cards in trash right away? Would be nice in Burgess. Alright, this card. Oh my god. So disgusting. What? I, I, for free. Like it doesn't even cost him a card. It's not even like he uses this card to get rid of my stage. No, no, no. He draws a card. And because it's a 2K, it's gonna be 4 times in every deck. It's just so ridiculous. I mean, there's not really. Is there anything? Well, the thing is, the new Mihawk had a stage, right? But nothing else that gets played really has a 1-cost stage that this would be usable on. So I guess if that wasn't there, then maybe they would use a different 2K if there was something better. But since it's new, I doubt there's even more. Like there's probably just these two, right? Anyways, really Cancer. I'm not looking forward to playing against that. The Bon. Alright, you can just play 5 costs. A bit like Kuzan. Uh, but yeah. Yeah, basically. Pretty similar to the 6-cost Kuzan. Mm, he can kill it with his leader ability, but that would still be getting rid of a 5,000 body. So he'll definitely, play it first, swing, and then the next turn maybe use it to play 5-cost. Should be fine. Babe Ruth here. Blocker and gets a card. Okay, that's nice for him. He can also be played with Bon on KO, so if I kill him, he gets a blocker, right? Yeah, so I guess I have to be wary of that. Mm. And he can grab himself, like our 7-cost teach. Cost of 8 or less covers most things, even this high end he has. And also something like the counter event he has later. So it's actually really good for defense. If he kills this and he can bring back the Babe Ruth, works as a blocker, and then he can grab himself something like Ground Death or a 2K or something. So I suppose it's 4 cost, so really good black hole target. Zala, 7 cards and more trash, which should be really easy for him. 5/5 Dawn, it comes with 7K, plus 2 cost. Okay, that's gonna be annoying for the KO engine if we go with it. Some 4 costs here that would otherwise get hit by the Augur Dock combo. Now it would require the Teach Augur combo. He also has 5 costs, which becomes 7, which puts them out of range basically. But he doesn't need to play this first. It is a 7K right away, so there's no great answer to get rid of her either. Might just have to wait the turn and swing, but looks like a Burgess variety would be better against her specifically. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so we can rush to get rid of cards. Okay, the on play though, so we can deny that. Considering this does -10, even without the rush, this can remove a rest like or my teach or 6-cost Kuzan or whatever he wants to. Suppose he can, if he has the Bon out, he can get good value from that. Another blocker, right? Draw 2, trash 1. Good defense value for him. Just the Sabo, Sol Sunday. 4 cost and a 1 cost. So I guess the 1 cost is nice for leader ability, but also you can take the Searcher, right? So it's another spike in trash and draw. And the 4 cost, I guess you would usually always just pick Bon, right? There's no reason not to pick Bon and then kill him to grab a 5 cost. Like the gem to draw more cards. Not bad. But it's on play. We're gonna get rid of it. Crocodile looks super cool. On play, freeze and draw. We negate this. On KO, trash 1. play it, not even a once per turn. It doesn't come in rested. So if I want to get rid of this, I'd have to black hole it, which at 8 cost would require more than an auger. So basically it's not happening. Stronger also isn't enough. Double stronger black hole seems like a bit of an investment. So I think probably we're just gonna ignore this in the games. Maybe stun it with 10 cost each. Uh, yeah, and then either like kill it if we have really high Burgesses or just be going for game. Okay, then there's the ground death. We saw that before already. 3 down we can negate a 5 cost. Similar to Black Hole, but Black Hole can negate anything and then KO it. But this one's cheaper. But it does have the counter to it. 4000 power. Tenor charge is gonna be pretty easy for Crocodile most games, I would say. His like trashing is not on play dependent. As soon as he plays a 1 cost, he gets like 3 cards on trash from that counter. He'll have this active pretty consistently late game. Oh yeah, and he has the searchers. Okay, so it's just a standard searcher. That's fine. Overall, looks like solid. Like this looks really, really beatable. The only thing that really makes this deck a problem is this stupid Miss Merry Christmas. Oh my god, why is this a card? Ugh. There's nothing we can do to like get around this. There's just nothing. It even draws one, so it's not like we get something. This pisses me off so much. Why is this a card? Like, the only really deck, I guess now the Mihawk has one, but like, the only deck that really like has a stage that's important to them is Teach, and Teach isn't like dominating the meta, so this is just fucks over Teach and is completely irrelevant for everything else. Fuck. Ugh. Whatever. We'll probably still play stage when we can, but just I guess hope that she doesn't have it. It's possible that we may end up not playing stage against Crocodile, just because we go -1 and he doesn't go -1 to get rid of it. So if he has it, playing stage is a mistake that costs us a card. So I'm leaning towards we may not be playing stage. Oh well. Next up, let's look at the on plays here. We've got basically doesn't really have on plays except the 1 cost searcher. It just starts at 5. And at 5 they are resting an opponent's character and then being able to rush swing into it or draw 2, trash 1 for card advantage. And then at 7 we have really nice value, and at 8 we have nice value. So we're gonna start using leader ability at 5. Pretty straightforward in this matchup, I think. Since we can stun this Crocodile, this Robin doesn't really like scare us much. He doesn't have like a lot of high end. I think we just outscale with 10 costs and Burgesses. Brings us to the question, engine or Burgess? Against the 1 cost, it would be nice to have Dock, but I don't think he will leave them on the field. The only exception I could see is this one. If he just wants to play a searcher and have it ready to get to give something a -10. These two are removable with the engine, but getting rid of Bond with the engine is somewhat pointless because he just gets something better than Bond when killing it. So we want to either just leave this on the board or kill it with Black Hole. Zala also, if she's on the board, pushes these above. I guess he can grab her for free, but with the Bond as well. So it's annoying. We would need the 7 cost to put these into range afterwards, but Both of them are just great black hole targets. Uh, Bones here. To be fair, once he's on the board, he's not really much of a threat, so we don't need to get rid of him AS as soon as possible. Here, just a blocker, kind of a similar situation. None of them have really like lasting threat that like, when attacking or activate main or something like that, or really high attack power. Once they're on board, they're just low cost, relatively low cost attackers that we can counter out of or and then, just swing the following turn. I think in this matchup, the Burgess and blockers is going to be way better. He doesn't have a way to get rid of the Burgesses. He doesn't have any targets that we can easily and really need to KO as soon as possible with the engine. It's actually more difficult due to Zala when she shows up. And since we can't really get rid of the Crocodile, and we kind of have to leave him there, we want to actually go towards killing him. Our Burgesses swing and clear his board with not really a lot of trouble. He reduces the cost, but not the attack or anything. He can't remove them, so I think this is very favored and a very Burgess heavy um, game round with blockers to get us a bit of extra stuff. And we'll just swing into their stuff, leader ability at 5. Solid. I'm uh, I look forward to this matchup, except this card.